Hello, I would like to take you through some of the updates here to the CS1 IDE. Okay, we're looking at an integrated development environment that's designed to help students learning some basics of computer science progress through their learning in a very orderly fashion, being able to have a very focused lesson one at a time where they have a resource such as right here. I'm just using Google Slides that plays into the program or fits into this program. And if you would go ahead, for example, and click this, this is the actual reading. It's just a slide presentation. It's already there. And then it just, this is just a proof of concept at this point. It's not a complete lesson, but I'm just going through several slides. It tells students, what they can do ultimately to this source code that's on the right-hand side to effectuate a change in a real 3D multiplayer game that's VR ready as well. So for example, right here it says some things about logging. It makes a reference down here to some code that you can see that's up here in this code editor. And then they are encouraged further on down here to make some edits and then to perform a save to the remote file, to run a build. Upon running the build, they should see a build complete kind of feedback down here in the log. That's what this is right here. Afterwards, once they get that feedback, then they are to launch the game. And then launching the game, they can go inside the actual 3D environment and go and find one of the logging screens, and they can read out basically what was basically shown on this line over here. I am logging, and then whatever number they changed it to, essentially. Yeah, and then there's an accompanying quiz that accompanies each of these. These aren't, like I said, these aren't complete lessons. These are just proof of concepts. Teachers are familiar with working with Google Forms and using them as quizzes, so thought that that was a great way to just have teachers and students get on boarded with this system using things that they're already familiar with. If you look in the source code for the IDE, basically we just have the teachers themselves can go in, and students could, I guess, as well, just create lesson content by making presentations. A lesson URL is basically a link to a Google Slides presentation. Quiz URL is just a link to a Google form as forms quiz. And this is some of the source code that basically is going to be related to the lesson that will be edited and so forth as part of the lesson. This is the name of the lesson. And then these are all just different example lessons that I have so far. So, variables and logging, data types, JSON, and components. So, and again, none of these are really complete lessons at this point. But if I go back to the IDE, you can see over here, for example, if I launch the game, let's go see this actually in the game. I've already built it ahead of time. I'm just going to go ahead and go into this. Let me turn that down a little bit. Okay.
Welcome to CS1 Agency Headquarters. All visitors are required to sign in at the welcome desk.
Okay, I believe I was in here just a little bit ago, and I've already signed in, and it still has me signed in at the desk. I'm going to go right over here, and you can see, hey, this is the log that was done in the lesson. Now, if you're not at all familiar with the CS1 game engine, there's a lot of cool features. I'm not going to go into them all right now, but I mean, yeah, there's all kind of artistic elements the students can get into, and you can integrate this with your art department as well. So like avatar upgrades, and it is multiplayer, so you'd see the other players. We have an NPC right here. They can, yeah, there's a lot to this game engine that I'm not going to go into right now. I just want to focus on kind of like the guts of it. So they do a lesson. They're learning about, in this case, if we go back, they're learning about variables and logging. So over here, they go through the lesson. They perform a formative assessment. They edit the code. They save and build the code, and then they run the the game, and then they get the evidence of their efforts, right? So they don't have to build out a whole system. They can, at the later on in their progression, get more and more involved in building out their own environments and so forth, if that's intended. If not, it could just be simply focused on learning some basic CS fundamentals, for example. So that's pretty much it. Go to different lessons. Each lesson will have its own like presentation here and so forth. And I don't even have anything in these ones. These are just like empty. And they have an associated quiz with them and so forth. And then you would edit the code accordingly. You save your changes to the code, you recompile the game, and then go see the changes, go see the effect. That's pretty much what it's all about. And if you have any questions, it's very early on in the project. If you'd like to get on board with it, if you have some requests, feature requests, or you just saying what's really going on here, reach out to me. I'd be happy to collaborate with you. Well, take care and have a wonderful day.